Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. One of the best quote that I read somewhere. Chasing the traffic on your way to office is an experience. Managing your passion along with your office work is an experience. Performing any act for the first time is an experience. Whatever it is experience and it matters. How? Hello listeners, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of your favorite podcast Giridhar's Garadi with your favorite host Giridhar. Well, in today's episode, I am going to narrate you an altogether different experience from my personal life. It was July 2019, exactly 6 months after my second solo trip. I felt that I should start prepping up for the next destination. After some R&D, I decided to visit the paradise on earth, Kashmir. I interacted with few travel agents and finalized the best deal. The itinerary was impressive. It starts from Srinagar, Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Sonmarg, Kargil, Leh, Nubra Valley and Pangong Lake. I was very much excited about the trip, although I was little afraid of those destinations traveling alone, and I started making a note of the necessary precautions from my friends. In fact, I started dreaming about it for days together and became quite busy with the required arrangements. As part of my deal with the travel agent, I paid some advance amount for flight tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days passed. The agent was in touch with me saying so many stories but never confirmed my tickets. I was confident that nothing would go wrong in this process because I took the email confirmations for all the communications and transactions on the deal. Moreover, I couldn't find any loophole during my inquiry on the authenticity of the travel agency through one of my friends who works in the Indian Army. But unfortunately, it happened. I became the victim of a cyber fraud. It came as a big shock for me. I was shattered with the way things turned out. I was afraid that my dreams were not going to turn into reality. My personal life at that point of time added insult to the injury. All these things took a toll on my health, and I was bedridden for a week. However, at some point, I felt that I thought of having a travel experience, but life gave me a chance to experience a cyber fraud. But how to deal with it? I had no idea, as I never landed up in such situation earlier. My only ray of hope was my army friend, who encouraged me during the trip plan, but gave me a cold shoulder after knowing the incident. Then I decided strongly, whether I get the justice or not, I should deal with it, fight for it alone, and shouldn't miss this experience. I started discussing about the incident with few of my close friends. The first attempt from my end was lodging a complaint in the National Consumer Helpline Forum through the mobile app. Consumer Helpline usually addresses such type of issues on our behalf and tries to fix them. However, in my case, after 2 months, the complaint was closed with incomplete comments stating that they tried to reach the agency on my behalf but couldn't get any response from them and I have to follow the usual process. But they didn't mention anything about the usual process. An unpleasant experience for me, but it didn't stop me. The second attempt from my end was raising a grievance in the online cybercrime portal. India has the cybercrime portal that allows the citizens to file a cyber complaint online. However, in my case, after 3 months, the grievance was closed with an SMS stating the same and asked me to log into the portal for details. But the portal doesn't have an option to verify the status of the grievance. Another awful experience that surprisingly pushed me further. The third attempt was to directly give a written complaint at the local police station. For the first time in my life, I visited a police station along with my friend. I was petrified for some time without any reason. Later realized the fact that it's common in this country. You feel scared rather than feeling protected by looking at the police. I gave the written complaint and I was asked to visit the station in few days. During my next visit, I found some progress in my case. With all my valid proofs, the police collected the agent's details and debit freezed his bank account. I eagerly took the pics of those documents and details. I was told that I would be contacted once they get hold of the agent and I don't have to reinvent the wheel by visiting the station, which made it obvious that I should go for the next attempt. The fourth attempt was to write to PMO online. All the Indians have an option to write to the Prime Minister of India seeking his help for justice. I wrote in brief about the incident, posted my evidences and also the documents that I collected from the police. My concern was forwarded to the Prime Minister's office and I received the details of the officer responsible for it. But after some days, it was handed over back to the National Consumer Helpline, with which there was no positive outcome. I believe by this time you would have got the point that I would like to drive home. Irrespective of whether you get the justice or not, you shouldn't keep trying and you should always gain the required experience in any area. Just like me, every one of us encounter with so many unexpected things in our lives. All I would say is try to deal with everything that comes your way and gain the experience. Experience helps you to grow and evolve as a person, irrespective of the end result. In the words of the great scientist Albert Einstein, the only source of knowledge is experience. After all, experience matters. Hope you like this episode, listeners. Do like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back in the next week with a beautiful concept. Thank you.